Drapes and Jay holding it down on this Friday the 13th. Shout out to the Queen Taylor Swift, her birthday today. Not sure exactly how old she is. I got to look that up. But Taylor Swift, I was listening to Taylor Swift earlier today. Once again, man, 5 days in a row ever since the concert, 5 or 6 days in a row. Your boy been blasting that Taylor Swift, man. That concert had its effect on me.
Got a lasting effect.
Yeah, it definitely has a lasting effect. Let's bring in is Steve ready? He on the line there. We got to bring in Steve Bulpett of Heavy.com, friend of the show, my guy from what's up, man? Dude, why are you trying to get us all up in arms here in Sacramento with this LeBron James story?
Well, damn, I mean, you just told me Taylor Swift's birthday. I forgot to get her a gift. Damn it.
I'll tell you what she likes, man. How about that? I'll tell you what she likes. You know, I actually just went to Vancouver, Steve, and saw Taylor Swift perform. Me and my daughter, we went to her concert. 60,000 of us Swifties out there, man.
I can't believe that the NBA traded Vancouver for Memphis. I like Memphis, but Vancouver, man.
I know Vancouver's a world-class city, man. World-class city.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Hey, what's the best concert you've ever been to? I know you've been to a lot. What's your best concert?
Oh, man.
You been to that many?
Yeah, well, I used to work at a concert venue in Boston, too.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd have to say Marvin Gaye.
Ooh, that's a good one. You saw Marvin Gaye live? Wow.
Well, the other way wouldn't have worked.
Nah, man. I mean, you could have did what I do, Steve. I watch YouTube performances of live, like favorite artists' YouTube performances.
Yeah, I don't mean to get picky here. I don't mean, get all English lesson, but wouldn't that be not going to a concert?
You see, this is what I get, Jay, for bringing in a Boston guy. Can't just play nice. It's probably 10 degrees and snowy out there, Steve. I'm going to thaw you out a little bit, and let's talk about your article on Heavy.com. LeBron James and the Lakers stuck again on the hamster wheel, LeBron's hamster wheel. You have a source, a league exec, who said that a trade that nobody's talking about, the one place, quote, that this source says that I don't hear a lot of talk about with LeBron is Sacramento. He could change them, and they might have the kind of assets to make a trade work. What strikes you about that? When they said that to you, were you shocked with that one?
No, because it's not like he's not saying that this trade is being talked about or happening or anything like that. He's just saying that when people talk about LeBron, they mention Golden State and this and that and what could he be, and they mention places that are kind of unrealistic, but people don't mention Sacramento because for some reason, I guess because of their record this year, the Kings are a little bit under the radar, but you see them all the time. Dude, that's a damn good basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
So, this guy I think it was like, that's interesting. And you start thinking about how it would fit. But of course, we're just playing games here. I mean, he's not saying that there are talks going on or there have, or that anything is happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thing of like, we're all saying, which puzzle pieces would fit. And I thought it sounded interesting to me. It wasn't the lead of the story. It referred to it up top, but it gets into it well down into it after a bunch of NBA people, tap dance on the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not their grade quite yet, but on their whatever infirm body.
Steve, Lakers are 13-11, 3-7 over their last 10 games. LeBron's out what they're calling with left foot soreness, I think it is. You wrote about, it just seems like whether it's Darvin Ham, J.J. Redick, the Lakers once again find themselves in this position. Is this finally the tipping point, do you think? Should the Lakers look at all possible options regarding LeBron James?
I think when you're on your third coach and this is the fourth year,
mm-hmm.
you got to start thinking about, maybe it ain't the coach. Darvin Ham came in with a great reputation, and no one's saying he doesn't know how to do his job, certainly. And it didn't work. And it's, the fact that they're still in the same position is leading people to believe that it's not going to take a tweak to get the Lakers fixed.
Steve Bulpett joining us, and I'm with you too. I mean, they had such a good start, and everybody thought, but that was the honeymoon phase for JJ Redick. You look at what the Lakers are doing now; they're struggling. We've seen the Warriors struggle, or my Sacramento Kings have struggled also. Steve, here we are for the Kings, 26 games into the season. Do you think 26 games is enough to fully accurately understand who a team is at this point?
Talking about Sacramento?
Yeah, Sacramento. And, I'm looking at Minnesota up and down. I'm looking at Denver up and down. It just seems like a weird season where nobody other than the top dogs have hit their footing yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at teams like Sacramento and, let's take Sacramento first of all. They've got to get their stuff in order. And is there time? Yes. And if a move gets made with them, I'm not talking about a LeBron move, but there's a move that gets made, you could see them taking a step forward. Minnesota, they made a major trade just before the season. It's going to take time for that group to gel if it ever does gel. In the case of LA, the Lakers, is there any move that you could see that team making that would allow it to compete with the top couple of teams in the Western Conference in a playoff series?
I don't see anybody out there. I mean, every move that can be made seems to be, it pushes you forward just a little bit, but nothing that makes you a top contender or anything like that, especially for Sacramento right now.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the Lakers. I think Sacramento is going to get better and will get better. And, I think it's hard. I think look, the Kings made a major move last year, and all of a sudden the year after that, doesn't it always seem to be difficult for that team the year after? They've accomplished something, they've accomplished a step forward. They've accomplished improvement. Now taking that and realizing that you were the new fresh face last year, but now it's about to maintain that, you got to do the grind part, and teams are more ready for you this year. You don't surprise anyone. So yeah, I wouldn't give up on the Kings. Do I think that they're in the top 2 or 3 level? Not right now in the West, but I wouldn't look. I think you got good players. I think you got a good coach, and it's a question of are you able to add to the roster, and are the guys that are there, the younger guys, able to develop more? I mean, look at the Celtics a few years ago.
Right.
That's a team that the bodies were there, and guys needed to improve. Yeah. So you make a move, you bring in Porzingis, you bring in Drew Holiday, and that's a guy that, isn't just glue. He's crazy glue. He not only binds your team together, but he can do great things as well. But was Drew Holiday like a hot commodity in the market? But there's a guy that made a huge impact on the Celtics. Are there guys like that out there? And might one of them be able to take the Kings and elevate that club? I think it's possible.
And to your point, Steve, the Celtics, as good as they've been, they still needed Drew Holiday and, Kristaps Porzingis, even though he was banged up. Like, as great as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been, it's hard to win a championship. And it doesn't happen overnight. So I appreciate you bringing them up. I do feel like the Kings have the core. They just need now some of the supporting cast, some of the side dishes to help put them over the top.
But when I also mentioned that the guys they have to develop more, let's take that into account. and bring that back to the Celtics for a second. The Jason Tatum you saw in the playoffs this last year was appreciably different than the one before. Look, he should have shared the MVP of the finals with Jaylen Brown, but he was much more than his numbers against the Warriors 2 years prior. They just ganged up on him, and he tried to make the plays anyway. And it bogged the Celtics down, and they lost a series that they maybe should have won. And this past year, when the double team was coming, Jason Tatum saw it and beat it. And not only did he get assists, but he made the passes that led to the pass that led to the assist. I mean, and that changed the Celtic offense. They became truly unguardable. You know, look, yeah, they had the right guys on the floor. The tweaking of the roster helped. Holiday in, Marcus Smart out, Porzingis in, but also the development. So you got guys that you're looking at in Sacramento now who are young, who are really good, but they ain't as good as they're going to be. And you have to take into that. You have to allow for their improvement as well when you're looking at the team and trying to extrapolate from here to where they're going to be.
Good stuff from our guy, Steve Bulpett. Follow him on Twitter, Steve B. Hoop.